A couple of months ago, a huge nuptial flight happened in my yard. Termite kings and queen royals were engaging in their once-a-year mating flight, gathering in huge droves to partner up, get married via a ritualistic termite dance, and then running in tandem, once bonded in termite love, to search for a place to begin their own termite colonies underground. I knew that in nature, only a tiny percentage of these termite royals survive, as most fall prey to predators, like my spiny ant colony, who had a literal feast on that night. But despite my undying love for keeping pet ants, it has also been an utter dream of mine to own a giant termite colony. I've successfully done it once in the past, but they fell victim one day to wild pharaoh ants who broke into their tank and just massacred them all. I've been dying to bring back a termite colony to the channel ever since, but have failed every time. I could never get a captured termite pair to lay eggs, let alone produce its first workers. But on the night of this termite nuptial flight 2 months ago, suddenly having hundreds of pairs available for me to capture, I knew it was my ultimate chance to make that termite colony dream a reality. And so, I took the opportunity to capture dozens of these termite-wedded pairs, raise them in test tubes, filming the termite pairs over a 2-month period. And guys, you will be mind-blown at what I managed to capture and record since I caught them. Especially the amazing thing I saw peeking into the termites' test tubes just yesterday. Welcome to the Ants Canada Ant Channel, Termite Edition. Please subscribe to my channel and hit the bell icon. Welcome to the AC family. Enjoy. AC family, I finally managed to record for the first time on this channel how a termite colony starts from the very beginning, which to my surprise was quite different than an ant's in so many ways. And today you too will get to see the miracle of termite life happen all in this video. But along the way, there were some strange, mysterious things and unexpected curveballs I did observe that I was surprised to see, and some major questions left greatly unanswered. I'll be needing your help and opinions in this video, so stay tuned for all of that coming up. So over the past 2 months, we've been focusing on the development of our beloved weaver ant colony, the Jade Empire, who finally settled into their new terrarium last week. As an update, the Jade Empire is doing great so far. But while that story was unfolding, behind the scenes, I also had secretly been following and filming the development of the 20 or so termite pairs I collected from our last Ants vs. Termites video. Now in the back of my mind, I figured all these attempts at starting a termite colony would once again fail, because 1, I'm quite inexperienced with raising termites. The last termite colony I had was by sheer luck, where I captured a termite pair from a nuptial flight, placed them into a test tube, along with some wood chips and soil, and buried the whole thing into a terrarium. Then to my surprise, a termite colony started. I never got to film the colony founding process, so when I tried to start a termite colony up again, but under conditions that I could at least film the termite pair, any and all attempts after that failed. But the second thing that made these new termites harder to start up in my mind was that they were not the pestiferous wood-eating type of termites like before. These much larger termites were a type of termite that one of you AC family pointed out was a fungus-growing species. Now, having termites that eat fungus is both exciting and difficult. It's cool because, like fungus-growing leafcutter ants, which grow fungus gardens in their nests and feed on this fungus, termite fungus growers only eat the fungus they grow. Not a lot is known about how fungus-growing termite colonies start, but in leafcutter ants, when a queen starts her colony, she carries with her a fungal pellet, which she keeps in a special pocket under her head. And once she settles into her founding chamber, she actually spits this fungal pellet out and starts to grow the fungus which seeds the massive fungus garden of her future colony. But in termites, one of you mentioned termite fungus gardens happen differently, and that the workers, once they arrive, must forage for fungus. If that was the case, then I knew all my attempts to raise these termites caught on the night of this year's nuptial flight 2 months ago were doomed, because I don't know what species of fungus they would need to collect, and I don't know where I could get it. Another of you mentioned the termite pairs needed to have some decaying wood or leaves to eat and then poop out in order to fertilize their fungus gardens. Another of you mentioned they just need soil from their area and it contains the natural fungal spores which the termites could use to grow their fungus gardens. There were so many unknowns, but guys, you won't believe what I saw in the termite test tubes 2 weeks after capture. Watch this. Eggs! Of the 20 or so termite pairs I caught, only 10 of them survived to lay eggs. I was ecstatic. I can't believe we had made it to this precious stage in the termites' colony founding process. First off, in case you were wondering, ants and termites are not related. Termites belong to a totally different group of insects, more related to cockroaches than ants. But it's amazing that they share so many similarities with ants. This so far was just basically like raising an ant colony. Only in termites, both the male, the king, and the queen survive to raise the colony together forever. Termites are one of the world's most monogamous animals. Seeing a wedded pair of termites raising their eggs together was actually quite beautiful. I even caught the pairs grooming and cleaning each other quite frequently. Was this what termite love looked like? How precious. Now, just like ants, I assumed that the termite royals had all they needed, biologically speaking, to start their colonies. And I didn't need to provide them food. Perhaps they had food stores within their bodies to sustain them. Or perhaps they were munching on the cotton fibers in their test tube, seeing as termites seem to have the ability to digest such things. But one thing I did notice though, guys, in nearly all the test tubes were these cotton balls, which were excavated from the wet cotton side. At first I figured perhaps they were digging, but then AC family, here's something else you need to see. Fungus. Lots and lots of fungus. My heart soared. So get this, just in case the termites needed some stuff to feed their fungus, and since I had so many termite pairs, I seized the opportunity to experiment and added some dirt, decaying wood chips, and leaves from the area in which I captured the termites into a few of the test tubes. This was the result. An entire side just completely overgrown with fungus. Could this be the termites farming their origin fungus? Whoa! The idea made me so excited. Where did the fungus come from? Did the termites also have some special spore pocket that carried the fungus spores that started this fungus, like in leafcutter ants? I got even more excited when I spotted this. See that? One of the termites totally dropped one of the cotton balls into the fungus garden. Could these cotton balls somehow be nourishing the fungus, like perhaps the termite's saliva had some fungus growing agent, or perhaps the termites seeding more spores brought with them from their birth colony's nests? So many questions, but after thinking about it for a while, I realized there were two possibilities. First, I could be totally wrong here and all this mold could just be the wood, leaves, and soil completely molding up, which would be a totally normal process, and perhaps the termites were just trying to bury the mold with pieces of cotton to keep safe? But then why were the termites in test tubes without the wood, leaves, and soil also doing this? The other more exciting possibility is that this indeed was a fungus garden. And if so, that was just crazy. I knew only time would reveal the answers I needed. But little did I know, having my questions answered would lead to even more questions. A whole 2 months later, just yesterday, I peeked into the test tubes, and behold, a termite pair was cleaning their completely newborn babies. The termite babies were just so cute. AC family, I could not believe we actually hatched our very first termites. I watched the parents clean their young. It did seem that the babies were completely helpless at this point. They seemed to find it hard to get off their backs as they wiggled their legs in the air. Some managed to better walk and maneuver when on the cotton. The parents did their best to try to help their babies out, but the glass proved to be a bit too smooth. We'll have to fix that somehow if the termites continue to find glass and plastic hard to walk on. Now, another difference you might notice between ants and termites is that termites undergo incomplete metamorphosis, meaning they don't have a larval stage nor a pupal stage. The babies are called nymphs and simply look like little versions of their adult forms. These little white babies were tiny, just over 1 millimeter in length. Another interesting fact, in ants, all workers are barren females. But in termites, equality rules. These termite worker babies could be either barren males or barren females. I watched as the parents cleaned their young, which was a bit scary because I couldn't help but feel like the parents were eating the babies. Now you might be asking, okay, so what happened to the fungus-growing termite pairs? Well, AC family, I think this will surprise you. Death. All termite pairs that had wood, leaves, and soil provisions that were growing mold ended up dying, and the mold completely taking over. This was sad, but it was a valuable outcome and piece of information to our experiment. Did this mean that those fungus gardens weren't farmed by the termites after all, and were just mold growing from the stuff placed into their test tubes? Here's where I need your help, AC family. But before I continue with my questions for you on this whole situation, I wanted to quickly mention that I'll be part of Animal Con this year in Orlando, Florida, happening at the end of this month, between August 26th to the 28th. I'll be having a meet and greet, be doing a talk, and participating in panels along with some of your favorite animal creators on YouTube. I'll be flying halfway across the globe to meet you guys, so do get your tickets now at animalconusa.com. Alright, so back to the termites. What do you guys think? Now that these termite workers were arriving, what should be our next step? Will these workers need to forage at some point for fungus? If so, where on earth am I supposed to get this fungus? Would these termites be generalist fungus collectors? Like, could I just buy some mushrooms at the grocery? Or would I need to go out into the woods and collect mushrooms? I had zero clue what to do. I did fear, however, that if I opened these test tubes to give the colony access to forage for food or even to place food inside, that the colony might die. These totally sealed test tube environments so far seem to be the perfect environment for these remaining termite colonies to found. Could the termites survive off cotton fibers for now? Where do we go from here, guys? Input from any termite experts or termite entomologists out there would be greatly appreciated. I'd love to hear your opinions. Overall though, this filled my heart with so much joy that we got this far in the termite founding process. I still have several of these termite colonies at this stage, so we still have some room to experiment if we need to. Having a thriving termite colony would be super cool, not only because they make great ant food, but because they're a type of insect that, like ants, get a really bad rap in this world. There are literally thousands of known termite species in the world, but only 10% of them are domestic pests. I'm sure these termites, which supposedly feed on fungus, are part of the non-pestiferous kind and are essential organisms in the ecosystems they're from. I really want to learn more about these termites with you guys. I truly hope we can get at least one of these termite colonies going. And with your help, I know we can do it and learn together along the way how these truly fascinating creatures become the massive empires they grow into underground. Can't wait to read your thoughts on this and get your help. Thank you for watching and supporting the ants and termites. It's ant and termite love forever.